I'm mad because I got that breathalyzer keychain, and I was like really excited about it, but you have to wait 15 minutes to get an accurate reading, which makes no sense.
That sucks so bad.
You have to wait. You have to breathe on it. And
here's the directions for the breathalyzer. Stop drinking. Wait 20 minutes. Blow into the thing, and then you'll know how drunk you are. Motherfucker, if I had the presence of mind, I got the thing because it was $60, and I thought, oh, this might be a cool way to like create awareness. I just like start putting a number if I'm, if I am an asshole, if I'm angry, if I, like start putting like road flares on.
That's cool. No, man.
And
that's
then go
really
like, oh, shit, the last time I blew a 0.8,
How is 0.8, by the way? He doesn't call me anymore.
So dumb.
Dude, that's cool. That's like there's this.
Thanks, man. I just pulled that out of my ass right now.
But do you think the ones the cops use, like do you think if you get pulled over by the cops and they go like, do you want to blow into this thing, like, are you actually supposed to say, well, you want to give me 20 minutes because I just finished drinking?
Me to dinner.
Like, it's counterintuitive, but maybe their dirty little secret is that they're like, they ask you, are you willing to blow a breathalyzer? And because your instinct as a drunk driver is to say, I've never been pulled over like and checked like that, but maybe they say, when's the last time you had a drink? And if you say, I just had one like 5 minutes ago before I got in my car, the irony is you're allowed to wait 15 more minutes, but no one wants to say that because it sounds like a confession of drunk driving.
Wait, you have to wait 15 minutes before you blow into it?
Yeah. But I'm hoping that's a function of the cheap, shitty keychain thing that I got.
I heard.
It makes sense, though. It's in your stomach.
Isn't there, like, they give you a choice? You can blow in the breathalyzer here, or you can go down to the station and blow into the breathalyzer there. Don't they give you a choice? I heard that. And then they say, go down to the station, because by the time you get to the station, you'll probably sober up enough to not be drunk driving.
Or if their equipment works the same way as this piece of shit I got from Amazon, sober or not, your result, if you just within 20 minutes, like is just off the fucking charts. It's not accurate.
It's not accurate
unless you wait. But I'm thinking, come on. It's got to be just because the cheap ones. I don't know.
Get a $70 one. Get a fancy one.
That seems like good money after bad. And
why don't you get a fancy one? Get one with your name on it.
A designer breathalyzer.
Yeah.
A Versace breathalyzer.
Just do it. Just do it. Just let it all hang out. What's another $10?
That's awesome.
Just do it.
It would be amazing if they had technology. Wouldn't it be great if they had technology that was so like the constant, like if you could digitally know immediately how drunk you were, like if it was as simple as GPS, like you don't have to put any effort into it, and then you could just choose to set your Twitter or your phone in general, your text messages, it was like you choose your settings like when you're sober, but like you go like, look, you are Andy Dick right now,
right.
like are you and you're about to text your so and so, like you could create lists of people,
or if they could hook it up, if your Apple Watch could connect to your iPhoto library, so that underneath each photo it showed your blood alcohol level.
Yeah,
that'd be incredible. Like,
you could set your email settings to be like, hey, like when you were sober, you made me promise that when you clicked send on an email, I would go, okay, I sent it, and then wait 6 hours and then review it with you, and then you'd be like, God damn it. I don't know.
What's the worst drunk email you ever sent?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I stopped using email so long ago. Like,
what do you think's the worst drunk tweet you ever did?
I don't know. I mean, like the drunkest, most out of control stuff, I think was just like, there was an article about it. It was like some I like yelled at some kid for 3 hours or something.
You're a sober guy, Rob, huh?
No, I fucking drank.
You ever blast out any drunk tweets?
Yeah, but nothing angry, just something stupid. I'm trying to think of what's the dumbest thing I've ever tweeted. It's hard to categorize it.
Probably be easier to isolate.
I got really drunk at a party once, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go fuck those black girls" or something like that. I think that's probably. I think I screamed that to you from across the party.
Well, no,
I think that's probably the worst thing I've ever done.
You muttered it through gritted teeth to me and Jeff.
Oh God, that was the worst.
You were lonely.
I was ugly lonely. I was just like, I did not like that time in my life. That was a really, really dark time.
Well, I think we've all been there.
Ugly lonely?
Oh, yeah.
Ugly, lonely, and drunk.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
The only thing that makes you graceful lonely is time, which is really just saying your taste buds go dead. You know, like there's no hero or villain in that process. It's like, from my experience, if you don't know loneliness enough yet, you overreact to it and act like a big fucking tool that is going to embarrass you later when you become mature, which becoming mature does not involve you going to a crossroads and learning the blues because you really wanted to evolve yourself. Becoming mature, the laziest, least mature people become mature because they get old and tired and they start experiencing the same fucking shit over and over again because they don't make any effort to change. So they're lonely a million times. And then they're like, this isn't so bad. It's kind of like the last time and I know it'll end again. And that's not wisdom. And it shouldn't be. I hate that when we get old, like high road young people, when really it's just like, like every Spider-Man 4 is the third movie you've ever seen. Like, why are we arguing? I've seen 700 more movies than you. I don't remember the last 30 because my brain is dying. It's just like we don't do anything heroic to transform. We don't like gain. We don't level up because we're good people. We just keep living and tasting shit, and we get bored with it.
Well, that's the one thing I love about Buddhism is the concept of fundamental dissatisfaction, which is the idea that that is actually to be human. So I think the big lie that comes from all the fucking Spider-Man movies and all the movies and lots of stuff is we tell these people, no, it gets better. That'll go away. That gnawing, empty thing inside of you, that'll go away. And in Buddhism, it's like, no. That's like a fish saying, one day I'm going to be dry. Well, when you're dry, you're dead, fish. And in the same way, for a human to think that thing goes away is one of the great ways a human tortures itself.
Yeah. Also, the idea of looking forward to it, like that's a good thing. That would be like saying the best example I can think of is imagine if these like Parkland kids that whatever comes of what they did. Just imagine if they had been cool enough to realize how little they'll care in 10 years, or had they taken cues from all the people previous. Like they reacted from the place that they were in, and it was like. Yeah. They didn't react like 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds, and as a result, like they got shit done that I don't know, like we don't, and young filmmakers and everything young. We worship youth, but we make fun of its naivete. Like wisdom is just dying a little bit. It's just going like, yeah, it gets a little boring. I remember my dad. I was like 25, and he was. However old he was, and I just couldn't believe how old my dad was. And I was like, and it was a legitimate question in my head, and I was like, if he was any other human being, I would know that this would be tacky and rude, that I might get punched or just that it would be hurtful. But it's like your dad, so you're just like, fuck it, this is the guy I can ask this question because fuck him. And I was like, so now that you're this old, like you you like scared that you're gonna die and stuff, like, which was like really gnawing at me as a guy in my 20s. Like I was like really thinking about like what it must be to have to think about death all the time. And I remember my dad being like, guys, kind of been alive a long time, and really starts to get kind of boring.
Depressed.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't depressed. I don't know how to characterize my dad as a depressed guy.
Well, I mean, I disagree with you on what you're saying. And I used to think that. I just don't think that's true. And I used to think it, though. I know people think that, but when I've been numbed down, I've thought that. But I don't think that's actually it for me.
Well, I certainly don't want to. I don't want to make the mistake of going like, I figured it out. That's the one law by which the universe goes.
Yeah.
I keep going because I know that there's this other.
I think the beauty of it is you stumble upon something really beautiful, and man, I like kind of like came out of the closet with this Ram Dass stuff. You know, I have a guru, and I feel really good, and I used to feel really bad, and I feel really, really good. And I feel love in my life, and I feel really good. I know it's like, it feels lame to say that, but I used to think like the way you're talking, I used to think it was like an infinite Mordor scape or something, and that it just goes on forever, kind of never-ending Mordor scape. And in fact, maybe it just gets worse and worse. And then what happens is all this fucking shit the hippies are saying, you hear it, and you, from that Mordor scape, and you think, shut the fuck up. That can't be real. It's not real. But then you kind of, that's the entryway, you know? And then you start, like, if you're, like what I would do is kind of like I'm going to be like this, like, anthropologist. I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to find out where it's not real by being part of it. And then you start realizing it's real. And then that thing that you're talking about that afflicts a great many people, which is that sense of like, oh, fuck, my brain's rotting. I'm getting old. It just gets boring. This is terrible. Oh, my, like that thing. You realize, oh my God, it doesn't have to be like that. For real. And now you're in a real predicament, because you either have to, when people are saying things like what you're saying, you have to decide like, oh my God, am I going to be the fucking guy who says that thing? Or am I going to keep my mouth shut about it? Or am I going to be like, be cynical or try to tune into like that? And now it's like, fuck, I have to say it because it's incredibly unethical if I don't. And you know what I mean? It's incredibly unethical to be like, no, I know what you mean, you know, or to not say anything. It's actually, it doesn't work like that. You know, it can, if it can, and that's okay. I mean, and that the lineage I've become part of, the paradigm is not one incarnation. It's like we get many, many, many of these things. And that is not to say to take it for granted, but it's also to say in this one, you really just might be miserable for the entire incarnation. But they don't say that with like you really might be miserable for this entire incarnation if you don't do what they say. They just might say like, yeah, this one, it might be a sad one for you. And that's okay. That's okay. Not to be like, no, you could be like, you should be better. They're like, no, this is a perfect universe.